Hey guys, another video for our Sports in Japan playlist. Obviously this is boat racing, and these guys here are setting themselves up for a rolling start. So they'll go around a little island here in the middle, and then you'll see them sort of jockeying around to try and find a position that they want to be in when they cross the starting line. So there's a big clock over near the starting line, and it's counting down, and when it gets to 0 the race starts. And they have to cross the starting line just as it gets to 0. If they cross too early, they're disqualified, and if they cross too late, they're disqualified. So different people go for different strategies. The guy in the blue there's decided he wants to try and get the inside lane. There's a couple other guys you'll see trying to get around the outside, and they'll go on the outside, but they'll try and get a good run up at it. So sort of a bit of strategizing goes on at this part just before the official start. So we've talked about gambling in Japan before when we showed you pachinko, and there's not a lot of legal gambling in Japan, but this is one of the legal forms of gambling. So at these boat places where they actually stage these events, they have legalized gambling. So they have gambling windows and people going pretty much the same way as they do with horse racing and things like that in other countries. So you see these two guys on the outside here watching each other and sort of strategizing to get down the outside. So it's a bit of a mystery the first time you watch this, because it's like, what are they doing? A couple of guys over here on the inside just sort of puttering along. This guy here's puttering slowly up to the start line, and he's got himself on the inside lane, of course. These guys are on the outside, and this guy's getting a run up there. And then you'll see they all try and cross the start line within a second or so of the start, and off they go. And then round and round. So pretty much like other forms of round and round type racing, probably much more exciting if you're actually doing it than if you're watching it. But it's popular, it's really popular. There's these stadiums where they hold it all over Japan, quite popular. That's like a giant swimming pool. It's actually near the ocean, but it's all man-made, and this is usually the case. They have a giant man-made lake like this, and they stage the event in the center. So extremely popular, extremely popular. Of course, when there's not a lot of competition for the gambling, it's obviously going to make it more popular too, isn't it? And then it finishes. It's funny, they cross the finish line, and then they all sort of potter back to where they started from, where their boats are tied up. And there it was, go on the yellow one. Yay. It's actually televised too. One of the TV stations often has these boat races on TV as well. So there it is. On the other side over there, there's a giant screen. Now this particular day was like practice day or something, so it wasn't really a serious racing day. So usually the actual race is televised on that big screen there, and then all the details of the winners and so on is on the screen there to the left. And this place is full. Up the top there, they usually have the commentators and the TV people, and then the rest of it's all just the punters. So pretty much similar to horse racing type of setup, isn't it, really? But on race day, this place is full, absolutely full of people. Very, very popular event. This particular day that we were there, the place was actually being used for something else. They had sort of a local festival type thing going on inside. Actually, it was a vegetable festival with vegetable competition, vegetable growing competition and things like that. So that's why it's not quite so popular on this day. But just to give you an idea what it's like inside there, they've got this set up here with those roller doors over there is where the betting windows usually are. So they bet over there, and then they can come over here, and they can either go outside again or upstairs if they want to, or they can just sit here on these chairs. This would be for the serious punters, and they can watch it on the screen there, and they can see all the information on the screens, and then go back to the betting window as they feel inclined. So you have to be fairly hardcore to be sitting in a room like that all day. But anyway, there it was. boat racing in Japan. More videos coming soon.